Neferi has been running over the Rift for way too long. No one's been able to stop this mad dog from solo winning games until now. Poppy, a champion no one thinks about, is the perfect counter to Neferi, and the team to figure out this tech and abuse it in competitive play was none other than Korean team Nongshim Red Force. This middle of the pack team is battling for the first time since 2021 for a place in the playoffs, and this series puts them one step closer to that dream. In this close, best of 5 series, Nongshim showed off their drafting prowess, countering everything their opponents FearX threw at them. Bring out the OP dog, they just slam it into an A0 with Poppy. Pick a literal war machine? Pfft, just counter it with a pole dancing lady. I may be joking a bit, but Nongshim has done something amazing this game. When you play to counter your enemies like Nongshim did, it puts you in a position of power, as typically your lane should be winning early with their matchups. But sometimes, if you go too far with this playstyle, your comp can look really wacky. Like, who even plays Nidalee top lane? Nongshim comp weirdly works though. You have a great front to back with Poppy and Leona being the tanks in the front line and Azir and Kai'Sa dealing damage in the back line. And for the Nidalee, her W max at max ranks can actually give 70% extra attack speed to the carries. It's crazy good. Hats go off to them. But you still can't count FearX out. They still have the mad dog on their team. If FearX wants to win, they need to help unleash the beast. There's 2 strengths of this champion. One is going invincible every 20 seconds, and the other is all about finding resets with that ultimate, as he can jump from target to target like a homing missile. But this is where Poppy comes in. What you can do is use your W steadfast presence to stop Neferi from getting on top of anyone, and it works on other ability on FearX's team. So the game plan's simple, never let Neferi get a lead, and more importantly, help your Nidalee find tower plates on the Sion, as early range versus melee makes Nidalee a monster in lane. With Void Grub spawning, both teams look to move up for it. On Nongshim, they get prio in bot lane, letting their support move up slightly quicker to mid, forcing Neferi to match the 2 versus 2. If Neferi doesn't, Nongshim gains control of the objective and never lets FearX contest it. But with Neferi locked up in the mid lane, it gives a chance for Poppy to look to chunk out Clear, who's just teleported back. They go in, chunking them to half HP, but Sion is unstoppable in his ultimate, and not letting Poppy W stop him. I guess Poppy W isn't perfect here, but killing Sion was just an idea. Nongshim is looking to win the fight more importantly, so with Sion ult down and no wave, Nongshim is in a much better position. As Calyx and Lehens win the mid 2 versus 2 push, letting them set up a death push, their first plan is to get Neferi's invincibility out early. They do this by Lehens engaging. BFX look to collapse on him, but with W on Leona, they're unkillable for a few seconds, giving them time and space for his team to move. As Calyx looks to re-engage on Azir, sweeping up Rel and setting up for the Poppy to stun in the wall, securing this fight. It's a really cool interaction Nongshim has in the mid and jungle, with Azir ult into a Poppy slam. This fixes a lot of issues Poppy can have if there are no walls. There are a couple other champs that do it like that, like a Nivea wall, J4 wall, and even a Trundle pillar. It's so effective as a combo. Slightly later into the game, Nongshim pick up a free kill in the mid lane, getting out to Leah, who just overstacked. Earlier, when Poppy went and grabbed up the Void Grubs, the main reason this happened was to help Nidalee out. I mentioned earlier about range versus melee. Nidalee is a champion that has an amazing early, but a pretty bad late. So she needs to keep pushing her lead by grabbing these tower plates, or the death machine Sion will get to a point where it just becomes unkillable and Nidalee will be useless. So for these Void Grubs giving extra damage to towers, it will help her a lot. With all of that on the line, Nongshim look to contest the second lot. They are late to the play with Calyx TPing for base and Jiwoo still walking. With this time, Neferi had already stolen one of those Void Grubs, forcing Nongshim to go early. Lehens engages onto Rel, forcing her W, before Talia in the mid uses the Weaver's Wall to block off their escape. But both members on Nongshim don't have flash, so they need to hold their ground. Poppy uses the steadfast presence to block Neferi's jump, but what happens next is sensational. Lehens walks in front of the Sion ult to give Poppy enough space to charge her ultimate. As they do, Poppy ejects 2 members out and finds a stun on Talia, securing the kill and winning that fight. Finally, the cavalry arrives and Azir and Nidalee in the top lane join the fight and they secure the objective. And with the objective in hand, it's time to make that money off the Void Grubs. Nongshim are balling with all those Void Grubs in their pockets. The only problem is they still don't have much gold. They need to get money, and that's through these towers. Nongshim's bot lane set out on the mid lane tower, using Demolish to pick up the mid lane tower for free, picking up an extra 300 gold. BFX tried to contest it, but they're just too late and they have to pay for it. Nongshim got both the top lane tower and bot lane tower from this mistake, and puts them in such a good position. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. I put a lot of work in these videos and it would help me out so much. Anyway, let's get back to the video. With the gold injection, it's shopping time, as Azir gets 2 items and so does Nidalee. All Nongshim has to do is not fuck this up and play as a team to get these towers. The only way something could go wrong is if someone gets caught out. And well, with a homing missile on the team, it's hard not to. As Taliyah calls in an airstrike when she ults, Sion charges his ultimate running down mid lane and gets onto Ji-Woo. Meanwhile, the rest of the team are killing the Poppy. It's just a pure dog pile for FearX. They were able to find a way through the storm of defenses Nongshim had. This is what you're meant to do playing versus defensive comps. Look for a super small opening with more numbers and pounce on the situation. FearX achieved a few kills and the mid lane tower, but I forgot to mention what the pole dancing lady was doing. She, on the side lane, was getting these towers. FearX may have gotten the kills and gained more gold collectively than Nongshim, but Nidalee is the true winner of all of this. Remember, Nidalee and her team were able to pick up the Void Grubs earlier to help get tower gold. Nidalee, in the past 5 minutes, has been able to collect both top lane towers and 1 bot lane tower. And drum roll please for the amount of gold she achieved off that. Over 1500 gold, and that doesn't even take into account her CS or even the kills she's added. Truly, Nidalee is making stonks, no tabs are hitting her. With the amount of money Nidalee has accrued, what has she spent it on? In the shop, King had brought himself a Trinity Force, Sunder Sky, and a Hullbreaker. All of these items may at first seem weird for Nidalee, but it makes a lot of sense. Hullbreaker and Trinity Force help taking these towers quickly, while Sunder Sky helps with the burst trades against the Sion. Essentially, she's become a one-man tower taking machine. This lets her team and her set up in a 1-4 formation, where Nidalee looks to take the towers on the side while the rest hunker together to pressure towers themselves, but more importantly stop any engagements with the Azir or Poppy W. With this setup, they grab up the bot lane inhibitor for free and pivot into Baron afterwards. Baron is an objective that completely ends the game if Nongshim takes it. With Baron up minions, their 1-4 is even stronger, but more importantly, before Baron, FearX has a chance to clear the waves with Taliyah, but now with Baron up minions, she deals no damage due to the minions gaining magic resist, leaving only Ezreal on the team to clear those waves, and we all know how slow he is at doing that. So it's full steam ahead for the Baron. Earlier, when Nidalee pushed and got that bot lane inhibitor, this wasn't done by accident. Nongshim on purpose took the inhibitor furthest away from the Baron, as it forces someone from FearX to match it, letting Nongshim find a 4 vs 5 fight. So with bot lane pushed out, they set up. The only way for Neferi and his team to win out is by finding a pick. Remember, Poppy ult and Azir ult negate all of Neferi's engaged potential. Taliyah pushes out bot lane to give them a chance to fight without losing their towers to these minions. Afterwards, she ults into the fight where you see Ji-Woo all alone in the mid lane with no Azir or Poppy. Letting Neferi engage, they pick up the kill and Taliyah finally arrives, blocking off Leona and then gets ulted away. But she's done her job, as Neferi finishes off their arch enemy Poppy. But wait, what's Sion doing? He's 1 vs 3 against 2 fed carries on Nongshim. He holds out, waiting for his teammates to join, but Taliyah arrives and forces Azir's flash, but he's still untouched, free firing and killing him. Everyone else arrives, but Leona's doing everything in her power to keep him safe. But look, he dodges Taliyah's E again and pushes Neferi off, and just kills everyone! What the fuck have I just watched? Calix the Azir player just popped the fuck off. They're looking to end after this, running towards the mid lane. The inhibitor taken earlier is crashing to the tower, giving themselves a chance. It's Neferi versus the world. They try to clear the wave, they chunk out Azir, forcing him to step back, but with Sion up, it's impossible to end now. Maybe ending when an enemy team comes up in 10 seconds was a little much. But even so, Kai'Sa and Poppy running out base take the Baron. Nongshim is one step closer to ending. They just can't let Neferi into the backline again. So for one final time, they set up in the formation and look to end. Nidalee heads bot lane on her own to destroy the inhibitor, which has just respawned, while everyone else heads towards the mid lane for theirs. The goal is to overwhelm their X with the minions so they can't play the game. And that's exactly what they do, finishing off the game and winning the series in a 2-1 fashion. Nongshim are one step closer to getting themselves towards those playoffs. But that is going to be it for the video. I want to say a massive thank you for watching all the way through, and to like and subscribe. And I ask a little bit more because I'm so close to 1,000 subs, only a couple hundred off. I truly believe we can get there pretty soon. Except for that, there is a video on your right which I think you'll enjoy. And secondly, I've been working really hard on these YouTube shorts. I'm making one about every day or every 2 days, so take a look at them. But except for that, have a wonderful day.